Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. We're in the Volusia-Flagler TPO conference room. It is 9:02 and I call this meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Here.
Here.
Mayor Cloudman.
Here.
Commissioner Harriot. Vice Mayor Gillis.
Here.
Commissioner Dance is excused. Commissioner Snow. Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Tyamson.
Here.
Commissioner Briley.
Here.
Councilmember Miller. Mayor Norris. Vice Mayor Grubbs.
Here.
Councilman Sander.
Here.
County Chair Brower is excused. Councilmember
I am here.
Commissioner Skidema. Mayor Emmett. Vice Mayor Rogers. Commissioner Konomos.
Here.
Commissioner Sherman. Commissioner Santore. Mayor Eckert.
Here.
Commissioner Werning. Council Member White.
Here.
Jesse Thompson. Liam Furry. Simone Kenny. Greg Feldman. Nick Mostert. Chuck Coppernell.
Here.
Have a physical quorum, and Council Member White is the voting member of the Small City Alliance.
Okay, thank you. We do have remote participation, so we need a motion to support participation of board members attending remotely.
Motion approved, Johansson.
Second, Gillis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good morning, everybody. First item is public participation. Is there anybody online or in person that wishes to make a comment for us before we get started? I don't see any. There's no indication of online, so we'll go right on to our consent agenda. The consent agenda has been provided for you. It will be voted on as one item unless somebody wishes to pull an item. Does anybody wish to pull an item from the consent agenda? No indication of.
I don't want to pull an item. I just think we ought to acknowledge that this does include the cancellation of the July meetings, just as a matter of information for whoever's listening in.
Very good. That's a good note. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We'll go straight into our action items. Action item 4A is to review and approve resolution 2026-10, adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 to fiscal year 2030-31 transportation improvement program. TIP, or Transportation Improvement Program, is a 5-year program of transportation projects funded through the TPO planning area, throughout the TPO planning area. TPO staff discussed the development of the draft TIP at last month's meeting. The draft TIP was compiled and posted for a 30-day comment period, and Ms. Nicklin will provide additional information.
Yes, thank you. So as Chair Sander mentioned, we are adopting our next 5-year TIP today. We did present the TIP last month and provided some information about some of the projects and the dollar amounts within the TIP. We have had the TIP open for 30-day public comment, which closed on Monday. We did receive one public comment, and it was really an acknowledgement of the lack of rail projects within our TIP, and wanting to see kind of some movement towards that in the future. We also did receive a request through DOT from a developer to include a developer-funded project, 100% developer-funded, listed in our TIP under local projects for informational purposes. We have done this in the past, and it's actually for a project on the I-4 eastbound off-ramp to US 92. About a year and a half ago, the developer and the consultant provided a presentation of that project. At that time, we amended it into our long-range plan. We also carried it forward into our current long-range plan as a developer-funded project, but we also need to show it in our TIP as well. So that project will be added as developer-funded in the local-funded projects. Other than that, we did not receive any other comments that required any changes to the TIP. DOT did provide their review, and they provide the review back to us on a checklist. So the comments that came back to us were just acknowledgement that we were meeting the requirements in certain areas, but there were no comments that required any changes to it. So if there's any questions or comments on the TIP today for approval, I'd be happy to address those. Otherwise, we'd be looking for a motion for approval.
Councilman Miller.
I just had I know we advanced some funds for the project on I-4. I think it's a truck stop or something like that. My question is for that would fall under, is that CIS? That project falls under?
So that is a CIS project, considered a CIS facility. Yes.
And so my question is, where does that fall on the priority list set by the state for CIS for this TPO?
So I would have to double check on their CIS list, but it is a project. We identify it in our TIP as a freight project,
Okay.
but it's on a CIS facility. And there was actually a groundbreaking for all of the truck parking last Thursday.
Yeah, no, I guess the question that where I'm getting at with this is if we have a priority list, I just wanted to see where it fell, that we have certain projects that are advanced by the state, even though there's a priority list, and I want to know what projects were passed over to advance this one. And then my question would be, if there are some, what's the point of a priority list if we're jumping stuff? You know, if that was fourth on the list, but there's three others that either are unfunded or have funds in further years, why are we jumping those?
So this project.
What's this?
Oh,
sorry.
This project did receive an infra grant through US DOT. So that's the funding source for this project.
Okay. So specifically, this wasn't jumping other projects because it was receiving state funds. It's because it received other funding that allowed it to go ahead.
Correct.
That's all I had.
Any other comments, questions? So the request is for a motion to approve resolution 2026-10, adopting the fiscal year 2026-27 to fiscal year 2030-31 transportation improvement program. Need a motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Okay, this is a roll call vote. Would you please call the roll?
Thank you.
Yes.
Mayor Chazé,
Yes.
Mayor Cloudman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gillis,
Yes.
Commissioner Snow,
Yes.
Councilmember Tyamson,
Yes.
Commissioner Briley,
Yes.
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grubbs,
Yes.
Councilman Sander,
Yes.
Councilmember Johansson,
Yes.
Councilmember White.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you very much. Action item 4B is to review and approve resolution 2026-11, adopting the Volusia-Flagler TPO 2026 list of prioritized projects. Each year, the TPO develops a set of 8 lists of priority projects known as LOOP or LOPs, each representing a different category of projects and funding. Once adopted, the lists are transmitted to the Florida Department of Transportation District Office for their use in allocating transportation funds to the area. Draft lists were provided for review last month and posted for a 30-day comment period. Ms. Nicholin will provide an update to minor changes to the draft lists.
Yes, thank you. So like the TIP, the public comment period for this action item also closed on Monday. We did receive a few comments from some of our TCC members with regard to some of the cost estimates. So those were updated on their projects within the list. There were no changes to the ranking of projects over what was previously presented last month, but just some small changes to some of the details of the projects within. These lists were presented to all three of our advisory committees and were recommended for adoption. So if there's any questions or comments, I'd be happy to address those. Otherwise, we'd be looking for a motion for approval.
Questions or comments? Any online? Seeing none, hearing none. I'll bring it back. The requested action is a motion to approve resolution 2026-11, adopting the 2026 list of priority projects. I need a motion, please.
Look to approve, Brian.
Second. This is a general vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you for that. That's our main business. Let's go on to our presentations and discussion items. Presentation A is a discussion of service changes to Votran and VoRide. Ralph Hessler, Volusia County Transit Services Division will present on the service changes to Votran and VoRide. Floor is yours, sir.
Good morning, members of the board. Ms. King, who was scheduled to do this presentation, was unable to attend, so I'm taking her place. So we are here to discuss some of the upcoming service changes to, as was mentioned, to the Votran system. And as an overview, we have some major service changes that will occur in the East Volusia County. And those are Sunday service changes in the Daytona Beach area, our current routes 3, 4, and 11, and some minor adjustments that are connected with those routes also in the Daytona area. Major service change on the west side of the county, which is the Route 33 in the Deltona area, and a minor service change of the Route 70, which is our current night service route, beach side on the east side. Okay, we're fine. I'll take it. So the Sunday service operates currently from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Fridays, obviously in the Daytona area. And that will transition to our on-demand service, which we call VoRide, for most of the service, with the exclusion of 3 of our current Sunday routes. We will maintain 2 of them which operate on the beach side currently, and 1 that operates in the ISB corridor. Those changes will happen in October. The routes 3, 4, and 11, which currently operate at 30-minute headways, will change to every 60 minutes, so once an hour. And the connecting routes, which is Route 15, because it interlines with one of the other routes, that will also change from 30 minutes to 60 minutes. That change will happen next week on June 28th. Next slide. Deltona area to Route 33, which is currently our lowest ridership route, that will be replaced with the VoRide service. Part of that route earlier, a year ago, was already replaced with the VoRide. Now the rest of that route will be replaced with the VoRide area. And that change will happen by the end of the year. Additionally, by the end of the year, the Route 70, the last night route that we have, which operates mostly on the beach side, will also be replaced with the VoRide service. Previously, all of our other night service routes were replaced with the VoRide service. So this was the last one that will be done. Next slide. So the service change process, we have a public outreach process as is required. And we do that by way of press releases. You may have seen some of those already. Public meetings, of which this is one. We have comment cards that we put on the buses and on our websites where people can respond to how they feel about the services. And we also do in-person meetings on the buses. We ride the buses and try to meet with some of the people that will be affected on those routes, try to talk to them as much as we can, educate them about the options that they have. We also do in-person outreach at our transfer locations where we can meet the people that we don't maybe not catch on the buses. All of this goes into our Title VI analysis. Some of you may have seen this because it was presented at the council meeting on June 16th, so you can see the results of that. It will also be available later on. Next slide. So that's my presentation. I'll try to answer any questions you may have. If not, thank you very much.
I just wanted to go switching to the on-demand. Does that mean that ridership is generally down on those routes that you're going to the VoRide system on?
That is what we have done, yes. Where the ridership were low on some routes before, we switched to the on-demand, would actually increase the ridership because people had more options. For instance, a great example, some people, it's too far to walk to a bus, right?
Right.
Or in some areas, it's too difficult for them and all of that. The on-demand service is a curb to curb. So it comes closer to where they are, they're able to get it. Now, the only thing is they'd have to schedule that ride, sort of like a taxi type thing, schedule the ride. But it's been working very well, and we have seen, especially on the west side, 2 years ago when we implemented, ridership went up significantly from the regular bus service.
Does that overall present a cost? Is that cost effective? Does it do a cost savings to VoTran for that? Because you don't have a regular driver that's doing a regular route and stops every 30 minutes?
It is cost effective because what we pay the contract to do compared to what we pay our own internal to do is
Right.
much less.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wait, excuse me. There is a question. Sorry, Mr. Miller.
Just had a question about, so the Sunday service, is that all service, like all the routes?
All the routes except for 3, that there are 2 that currently operate on the beach side, those will remain.
Okay,
And 1 that operates from the beach side, goes out the ISB corridor all the way out to the jail.
Okay.
So that service will remain current.
and I think you answered my other questions. My biggest concern was communication of this change, right? Especially for, say, I assume some of the ridership is church service and things like that. So making sure that they know that their normal route won't exist anymore.
Right. We've been out there for several months and we have done, as I said before, take ones. We've interacted with people face to face on the website, all of that. Press and media has been out there. Additionally, since the service will start on Monday, we will have all boots on the ground helping people who somehow miss the message, because that happens, right?
So people standing at the stops that are waiting for the bus that's never coming. Yeah.
Correct. We will be out there at least Monday, if not throughout the rest of the week, to try to help people.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Grogan, one more question.
Oh, sure.
My question is in routes 3, 4, and 11 on the east side of Daytona. And I don't know your route system, so I apologize for that. Is that going in from residential into commercial areas?
Well, all those routes pass through both, right? The 3 runs on the Ridgewood corridor from Bethune all the way up to Granada. The 4 runs also from Bethune all the way down into Port Orange. So it goes through residential both. The 11 actually meanders, it touches both, but it kind of goes through the neighborhoods a little bit, as does the 15, which runs on Ridgewood and goes through that area over there as well. So they do touch both.
So I already know the answer. You're going from 30 minutes to 60 minutes, so it's a cost savings that you guys are looking at. But I think it impacts the community greatly when you have a lower income area that doesn't have cars or vehicles and they're using that service. Now they're trying to get to work and they have an extra 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how they plan their day, to work around, which then also double impacts what they're doing with their kids or anything else that they may have. It's something for everybody to think about when you start changing times like this.
To fill in a little bit of a blank, those routes are changing because the state is moving the funding. State had previously provided funding for the 30-minute service. They call it congestion corridor funding. That is being eliminated. Therefore, we won't have 30-minute service.
I can still call for a ride though.
Yeah, well, the boat ride will be available in the evenings, not during the day in those corridors, because there's still transit service during the day, although not as frequent.
Thank you very much. Our next presentation is our FDOT report, and Mr. Chuck Coppernoll, our new FDOT liaison, will provide the FDOT report to us. Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very
Welcome.
much, Mr. Chair and members of the board. Nice to meet you. I am Chuck Coppernoll with FDOT, and I'm here to give you your FDOT report. First off, I would just like to mention these 2 projects. They are both resurfacing projects, and they are due to start or slated to start next month in July. And we have one completed project, the roundabout at State Road 44 and Kepler Road, and DeLand has been completed and is now fully open. I just took a drive on it myself today, coming here today, and it's a very nice roundabout, so working well. And finally, I would like to say that it is that time of year when we are preparing for our hurricane. Well, we're in our hurricane season, and we just want to let you know that FDOT is ready to serve. So this video will show just that.
Slamming into the southwest coast this afternoon and making landfall right near Fort Myers. Our bridge inspectors, our team members, our heavy equipment, we do plan to have all of our resources and heavy equipment and contractors stayed north and south of the pond. We will be pushing in with full force to clear roads, inspect bridges, assess damage, and begin repairs as quickly as we possibly can. Every minute that a road or a bridge is down after a storm comes through can hinder the life safety mission.
For that help.
Let's all do Tai Chi.
Anyway, Pamela is going to bring up the presentation. This is my contact information, ladies and gentlemen. As most of you know, Kaya decided that she is going to pursue a different route in her career, which took her out of FDOT. You know, of course, we wish her well on her pursuits. However, yes, I've been placed as the new MPO liaison for Volusia-Flagler as we look for her successor. And from what I'm told, I will be your permanent. May change, it's not written in stone, but that is the plan, to keep me on as your permanent MPO liaison while Kaya's successor takes over Lake Sumner, who still do watch over, but will more than likely take them over as well as the Pelham area. So just like with Kaya, I am here for you folks, each and every one of you. I want anything you need, any questions, any requests for information, please feel free to reach out to me, and also include Colleen in those correspondence, keep her informed as well. And I also have business cards available, and I'll hang around after the meeting to meet the rest of you that I haven't had a chance to meet. Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, and welcome. Welcome. Any comments or questions? Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Moving right along, we'll go right into our executive director's report.
Yes, thank you. I did want to make note that recently the 2026 Dangerous by Design report has come out. This is a report that is issued and published by Smart Growth America and the National Complete Streets Coalition. It is produced every 2 years, initially started in 2019. And what this report does is it analyzes the rate of pedestrian fatalities, so the deaths per 1,000 residents, and provides a ranking. So for the first 5 years, this TPO has been in the top 5 of those rankings each year, with 2022, where we were actually the worst metro area, which covers both of our counties, both Volusia and Flagler counties, for the rate of pedestrian deaths. This year, we have shown an improvement over 2024, and we've also showed an improvement in the rankings. So we fall at number 14 for this report. However, our rate is higher than we were in 2019. So while we have improved over the last couple of years, in 2022, our rate was the highest at 4.25, where we now sit at 3.6. We're still haven't improved over where we were when the report first came out in 2019. So what that kind of leads is that while, we're kind of remaining the same, but our ranking is changing, getting better. There are a lot of other metro areas across the United States that are getting worse and ultimately, claiming those top spaces. So it's great to see us improving. And we have improved over 2022 and 2024, where we had our highest rankings. So we are the first metro area in that list at 14 that has shown an improvement over last year. But there's always room for improvement and room for growth. So in addition to ranking the top 100 largest metro areas in the United States, it also analyzes the state statistics as well. Where Florida has ranked either 1 or 2 over the 4 previous reports, we are now ranked number 5. So we are continuing to improve and show improvements in the area, but there's always room for improvement. So I wanted to share this report with you. This report is available online through Smart Growth America. If you Google the 2026 Dangerous by Design report, it'll come up. All of the other previous year's reports are also available for review or for comparison. We did mention the truck parking. The groundbreaking for that was June 18th, so it was just last Thursday. So this was a groundbreaking for all of the facilities across the 4 counties that are seeing the truck parking. It wasn't just for the Volusia-Flagler spot. So it was actually held at the Seminole County spot. But it was a great event. It was a little bit warm as it started at 10 a.m. But it was a great event and it was very well attended. And then I also wanted to thank Chair Sander for the last 2 events that we've had. He's come out to the Deltona Strong Ride into Summer Safety Fair that was held on May 31st and helped us in the booth there where we were working with some of our partners to fit helmets. And then also on National Trails Day at DeBerry Hall, which was on June 6th. So appreciate you coming out and providing support and help to the TPO.
Those are fun. I have a, Ms. Chazet.
I just wanted to say, going back to the safety report, the dangerous roads, et cetera. I was happy to see the improvement and it was good, although as you point out, those above us now on the national list mean that things are pretty bad some other places, and that's being recognized. But the numbers on the two studies where we improved, by my recollection, just personal opinion, were the years when we implemented a lot of the colored crosswalks. And that, of course, has changed now in our state, and we have no more colored crosswalks, which have whatever the graphic was, which have studies showing that they are a low-cost way to increase pedestrian and bike safety at intersections. And so I am hopeful that we will continue the trend, but we did take a very cost-effective tool out of the toolbox when that change was made at a state level a year or so ago. And so we wouldn't really see any ramifications of that. And in my view, it could have been one of the contributors to improving the safety during those 2 report periods when we had the better numbers. Just an aside, I know that this group and even us as individuals can't change the state interpretation of a federal regulation that never was a problem before. But I would just note we don't have that tool in our toolbox now. And that's, in my personal view, that's a shame because I think it was a contributor to safety, and there's studies that would support that assertion. Just a comment, nothing else.
I have a question. So these reports come out and they rank the things. How can we change that as a board? Do we select or advance priority projects, selecting one over another to provide a better outcome on this report, like selecting an intersection design change versus a sun path sidewalk or some other type of a project. We have an active role in steering this organization to improve these numbers, don't we?
Correct. So the report is titled Dangerous by Design. So it looks at the design of the infrastructure and the dangers that those designs pose to pedestrians. A couple years ago, we did change some of the criteria within our applications for our call for projects to put a higher emphasis on safety. And so that emphasis were new projects that had come in over the last 2 years. So when we program those projects, those aren't projects that would have been programmed, initially. And typically they're programmed out, 3 or 4 years. So I think some of that change that we've made is yet to be seen or yet to come.
Okay.
In addition, it's supporting some of our other agency partners and some of the projects that they program, such as DOT. They do a lot of work in their safety departments. And they've also put together over the last couple of years and put a larger emphasis on safety with the Safety Summit and the steering committee that Vice Mayor Gillis sits on and represents the TPO. But again, that's still a program that is fairly new, but there has been some changes that have occurred through there. So it's continuing to support our agency partners as well.
Okay. Shows that.
You could speak first.
I was just gonna, this is pedestrian fatalities specifically. So what I was gonna point out, while I want to be clear that I'm not saying that pedestrian fatalities are not important in terms of the overall mission of the TPO. And I don't know those numbers, but I would assume there's more fatalities via vehicles. That we still also have to weigh that, right? That the funding needs to go to where the biggest impact is. In terms of safety, necessarily, because this report is limited to that scope. That's just my comments on that.
So to add on to that, we do look at total crashes every year when we adopt our safety targets. We receive that information and provide that typically in the January timeframe. But we do analyze and look at that as well.
Yeah, I know we take that into, I was just trying to point out that this report is limited to just pedestrian, so it's not the full scope.
It shows that.
I am wondering if, I am certain the data is there at FDOT. I am wondering if we keep an internal here at the TPO heat map that puts a dot for every pedestrian fatality so that we can see if we have clusters anywhere. And in our planning project process, to your point, yes, pedestrians are part of it, but we would have something of a heat map to say, what is it at this location that the design might be contributing to the problem? And over time, I mean, we can't jump the list for every such spot, but we can know where these spots are, and particularly if numbers accrue over time, that we could make sure that we take that into consideration in our process of planning for the investments for pedestrian dollars.
Absolutely. And with the development of our comprehensive safety action plan that was completed last June, we did that exercise.
But do
Prior
we
to
do it
that, we didn't
continuous?
have that. So part of that grant is also then to look at in future years, give reports, so where we can update that moving forward. So we do have some money identified within our UPWP to continue that and provide that. And it's something we may want to look at in the fall when we review our policies of how we distribute our SU funds. And maybe we want to take a look at distributing some of that funds, changing that proportion now where we go 30% to transit, 30% bike ped, 40 to traffic operations. Maybe we want to focus on projects that are identified in our safety action plan, or projects that promote safety or help us get to a better number or better ranking in that score. So we haven't really looked at that percentage or that shift in 10 years since I've been here.
But if we kept a heat map of both pedestrian and bike, and we have a subcommittee that's bike head, so that we knew and could see as the data develops where the hot spots are, and it could feed into our planning process. And I'm just submitting that would be an activity I'd like to see.
Absolutely.
They had that, they had that, I think it was during the workshops for that study that you mentioned.
But a
All these
continuing
little
database
spots,
is what
yeah.
I'm talking about.
And anecdotally, while there's obviously other intersections that have design issues, I think a lot of it centers around kind of those places where you expect people to be walking, like beaches, things like that, from what I remember on those maps.
I'm just thinking, rather than a single data point that we then refresh 2 years down the road, if we had a continuing
Mhm.
heat map that data got regularly put into, we wouldn't have to wait and go back and look at it.
Yeah, and to the point about priorities, maybe, I know we just recently refreshed some of the criteria for ranking, but something like that as well, that draws it back. There's some of these things is up.
Ms. Gillis.
I was gonna piggyback on what Karen said with that. I know there are also, some of the cameras will have technology where it shows the near misses, which would be good to look into as well. When I was sitting on the committee, they were showing us some of the intersections and the videos they went through where there weren't accidents that happened, but they played us back the footage of a lot that almost happened. And that's what some of the data they had analyzed there as well. So those are numbers that could be pulled to add, as long as not just with the fatalities, but with things that almost could have gotten very bad very quickly, because some of them were crazy. I mean,
Left hand turns through traffic.
no,
and
it
stuff
was
like that.
wild. Just when they were pulling the numbers, that was one of the top things that they were showcasing. And then they were also talking about insurance issues as well, but those were.
Well, good points. Thank you for that. Well, thank you. It's on to my comments. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate your time and your service today. I would like to encourage each one of you to attend one of the TPO helmet fitting events. They're actually really cool. You get to see how Pamela works. You get to see how Stephen works and what they do. And the kids' eyes light up when they get a free bike helmet. And the process, I mean, you don't just give them the helmet, it's a cool process. And it's coming together at some of these bigger events. It is a big deal. There's a well-coordinated event behind it. It's really fun to see that and be a part of that. So if there's an event in your area, I'd like to encourage you to join. And it gives our staff a boost too, to see that we support them just by spending time with them. I know we're all busy, but it's worth visiting one event at least. So I just want to encourage that. I want to say, gotcha. I skipped an item. I will come back to it, and I'll go to that right now. I'll continue later. Board member comments, we'll open up now. Any board member comments? I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry. It happens.
I'm saying all right.
None?
You had good intuition.
Just want to make sure.
She gets me, she's pointing out, you missed this. So that keeping me on track. So that's good. Okay. 4th of July is coming up. Celebrate our 250th anniversary. It's a big deal. This is the best country on the planet. Celebrate, but be safe. So again, thank you for coming out. And with that being said, we're adjourned.